Good morning. I believe we are day 136 today of 365 days of morning routines and rituals with me, Carla Marie. I brought a new dressing gown. I went to Peter Alexander yesterday, not a shop that I shop at very regularly. I'm more of an op shop friend, but when I was there, they had these dressing gowns from $120 to $69.95, and then they had a further 30% off. Now, what I love, not only does it go to the floor and it is like teddy bear material, it's got cuffed sleeves. I love it. So that makes me happy. Anyway, that's my win for yesterday. I was very happy with my dressing gown. It's nice and snuggly and warm. Let's start our morning the same way we do every other day with our Luminous Humanness book. And I believe we are Friday the 12th of June today. Magnetizing your high vibe tribe. We sabotage our enlightenment when we unconsciously believe that we have drama, we are alive, exciting, someone with whom people want to spend time with. Should I read that whole part again? Because it did not make sense in my head because I am tired. We sabotage our enlightenment when we unconsciously believe that because we have drama, we are alive, exciting, someone with whom people want to spend time with. In other words, we mistakenly think that it is our drama, not our authentic selves, that is appealing, and without it, we would be boring or unrelatable. The truth is, as you grow and strengthen your attunement to the higher vibration, you will attract like-minded people. As you do this, you'll eventually notice a high vibe tribe standing by your side. At this point, you'll not only discover that you were never alone, but the people are collaborating to get in on the action, wanting to join in on your expanding sacred circle. Affirmation: the mutual support of my high vibe tribe inspires me to shine even brighter. I love this. I have an incredible community. It's not something I've always had, and there are moments where I still feel like I'm doing the things on my own, because that's human parts of us, right? But what I've learned is that if we don't share our voice and express where we are at in those situations, our tribe can't help us. Now, we come from quite a beautiful community space, and within those spaces, we have some pretty incredible leaders. Now, when we view leaders, we look at them that their lives are pretty amazing, that things are easier than maybe we perceive them to be in our own lives, right? Because it's just perception. And from those spaces, I am learning that we are all human beings. I personally have traveled through domestic violence. That has been my story. I survived it. I went through 20 years of domestic violence relationships before I realized what my worth was. And I carried so much shame and guilt and blame, confusion, all of these things in those spaces, because I was so worried about how people would perceive me, whether the story that they said I was true, and then that people would believe that story, right? And then came the bullying and the nitpicking and the name calling and people questioning my motive and my authenticity and all of those things. And yesterday I was reminded of this. I watched someone else from our community struggle with that walk, And it reminded me of how much we don't speak into these conversations. There is still such a tabooness when we're going through breakup, separation, just any end of life walk journey. So that could be an end of friendship, relationship, family members, like whatever the journey, right? We put so much blame and shame and guilt. But what if, again, there is no right or wrong? What if it was just you learning to complete whatever that cycle might have been for you in those moments? Just something to think about. And the other side to all of this is we've got to share. I think we've gotten to a space in society where when someone shares their heart, we really do judge them. Not often, and not everyone, but there is still that level of judgment, and that fear is what stops us from sharing our voices, right? And so I think we all need to learn how to voice the hard that we wobble through, because it is a wobble. We're going to get through it on the other side. It's the mind that creates the suffering. And if we choose to stay in that suffering, that's where we get really isolated. We can become real victims of our own mind and our own consciousness. And I've been there. I've gone through those. And I think this is why I really enjoy teaching about journaling and coming back to our neutral standpoints and our neutral spaces. Because without those things, without feeling those feelings, we get really lost. The world really does get muddy, and that's what we're trying to fix and change and maneuver. So today is your reminder that if you are wobbly, learn to have transparency. Learn to speak where you are. Today I am having a good day and I feel really good. I am so grateful for the tools that I have that allow me to keep coming back to feeling this feeling. Because over the last few months, my walk has not been easy. I've shared going through the wobbles. 3 months ago, Zach and I had a huge moment where it stopped me recording. That's why our days are a little bit out of whack. You know, there was about a week where I couldn't physically come here and sit in this space because the tears were so strong that I couldn't stop crying. And that's okay, because that was where I was. And I showed you from being in those spaces how to continue to come back to you, to home, to ourselves, to feeling the things that we should feel or want to feel or be feeling, and allowing ourselves to return to that neutral. And that is what this journey is about, the humanness, right? Learning to regulate our own emotions and feelings when we're walking through the wobble. That's what it is to have emotional intelligence. That's what self-love is. Self-love is just knowing what to do when you're in it. That's it. That's why we teach the fundamentals of self-love, so that way we can teach you what to do when you're in it. If we don't have a toolbox, if we don't know what to do, we can't do it. We can't choose better. We can't make a different choice. And then that's where our power gets taken from us. We quieten ourselves. We shrink ourselves. We lose our voice. And that's not our journey. Our journey is to be expressive. I know mine is. My journey is to share what this looks like, so that way it is easy for you to see and understand. Every morning I transcribe on the iPad, and then we upload, and then we create a caption, like a summary of what the videos are, to add as a YouTube description every morning, just so you know what I do. Because there are no secrets here. I don't hide anything. If it's from Spirit, I'm going to acknowledge it. If it's from ChatGPT, I'm going to share it. Because I don't believe in gatekeeping in any of these spaces. Because if one of us has knowledge to help someone else, we need to share that, right? Because if we don't know, how is someone else going to know if we're not sharing? That's how evolution happens, is when we share our voice. And that's an exciting thing. All right, I am grateful for the money to have been able to buy a new dressing gown. That's my gratitude this morning. Oh, so grateful. I'm also grateful for Botanical H2O and their dripping candles. I'm going to show you my masterpiece. Oop, wrong way. Doo-doo-doo. So she's slowly getting there. She's dripping away. Just pull this camera back so you can see. So every day when I have a client, we light the candle and we're allowing the wax to drip in and make a really cool formation. It's been a pretty cool little adventure in that space, actually. And yesterday they had a couple of colors that I didn't have, so I was able to go and do that. And they had 30% off. So even better. It was a good day for sales. End of financial year. What a win, right? I am also grateful for the capacity to write about hard things. That I can write about surviving domestic violence and going through DV and sharing how to overcome those things with others. And I'm really grateful that I have those tools, that voice, to be able to share these weird and wonderful things, right? All right, let's do a little bit of protection this morning. I just feel like for our weird and wet weather, we need it. So, I'm gonna place you in a beautiful bubble today of white and green loving energy. And we place this green and white bubble around your entire energetic field. And as this bubble of energy is outside of your energetic field, just beyond your hand span, we ask that this bubble of energy cleanses, clears, and removes all negative energies, enemies, entities, thoughts, forms, influences, hexes, curses, spells, psychic attacks, and attachments from your mind, your body, your soul, and your energetic field. We place this bubble around us so that this energy can no longer pull on our energetic threads. That we have the energy, the strength, the tenacity, and the voice and freedom to speak into whatever it is that we need to speak into today. May we come from a loving heart and offer honest and truthful guidance when we speak. That we help redirect others with our voice, so they too can move forward freely and confidently into alignment with their heart, their higher self, and their soul's journey. We're going to place a golden suit of armor around our entire energetic field today, so that when we speak, we are heard. Our voice reverberates and is felt to the depth of their soul, knowing that what we speak is from our heart. It is loving, it is honest, and it is truthful. May we be the love and the light that others need to see today. May we show them and remind them that self-love is possible when you believe in yourself. What a cool way to end that one. I like it. The sun is coming up, the birds are singing. It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday here. I am so blessed and I'm so grateful to have you here with me right now in this moment, sharing the wonderfulness that life is. What a journey we are on. Before we end it, Spirit, I've just gone, remember you got new cards yesterday? I did. I brought new cards yesterday as well. I've been looking for this deck for a little while. Rebecca Campbell, keeping in the theme that I read from. So Rebecca Campbell is the only cards I work with my clients. Apart from the Ask and It Is Given and the Spirit Message cards, Rebecca Campbell are the only cards I use when I channel. I don't know why. I can't work with any other energy. For whatever reason, she has channeled these brilliantly, and they always seem to have the message that is needed. So these are the Ancient Stone Oracle cards. Check out the backing of the deck. Pretty beautiful. But this morning, what do we as a collective need to be reminded of to help us have the most incredible day? We're going to go with the top one. 2 fell out. Ancestral messages. This is the most gorgeous card. Connection, belonging, and ask for help. I pulled this deck yesterday, and the imaging in the sides here is actually how I see Spirit, and I found it really fascinating yesterday when I opened this up to have a little play, because you've got to bless them before you bring them down here, right? Let's quickly read this message before we wrap today up. From the pictures etched on the cave walls of our prehistoric ancestors to the engravings found amid the ruins of ancient temples, stones hold the direct line for humanity's past. We can reach out and touch the messages left by the ancestors, our hand tracing the inscription and that their hands created. Have you ever run your fingers over the carving of a cave? Have you pressed your forehead into the ancient stone, knowing that it's witnessed the rise and the fall of civilization? Have you passed buildings that stood where your grandparents were children? In Madagascar, in Africa, stones belong to the ancestors and are used to construct tombs and monuments in the New Caledonia in the South Pacific. It's believed each stone has a name, a history, and a life resulting in the spirit enclosed within it. In the USA, Hawaiians believe that the stones are inhabited by mana, and that is the life force of our ancient ancestors. Mana is actually what New Zealanders call their ancestors as well, which is really cool. The life force of your ancestors and consequently must be protected and treated with great respect. And in the Agwanda, the First Nations people of Australia, Anagu, Anagu, I've never actually heard of this Aboriginal tribe before. The First Nations people of Australia, who are traditional custodians of Uluru, teach that this iconic sandstone monolith holds the spirits of their ancestors. The ancestral message, this card, is one of deep belonging and connection. It is an invitation to connect with positive ancestors from your ancestry, known and unknown, to reach back in order to walk forward, to remember that you are drawn of those who stood before you, and one day in the future, you will be an ancestor of those yet to come. I welcome the connection and guidance of positive ancestors from ancestral lineage, and they walk beside me and guide me all the way. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. It is this gorgeous reminder that we are exactly where we are meant to be. And for whatever reason, if you need to bring in your ancestral energy, you can do so at any moment, because it is always with you. If you get stuck on that journey, go and touch a cave, go and touch the ground, go and hold a tree and reconnect with Mother Earth and your mana, and come back to those beautiful positive things, because we are here to evolve and to change whatever the trajectory is that our ancestors walked before us. And if you, like me, have some pretty incredible ones, you do have some pretty big shoes to fill. However, know that is a part of your lineage. Know that greatness has walked before you, and you get to walk it too. I hope you have the most wonderful and blessed day, and I'm sorry today's video is so long. I love you. Enjoy your gorgeous and wonderful Friday. I'll see you later.